Life in your 20s. It's one of the most confusing, emotional, and pressure-filled decades of your life. You're not a kid anymore, but you're still trying to figure out what it means to actually be an adult. And you're expected to know who you are, what career to choose, where to live, who to love, and somehow still build a future that won't crumble. All of that while trying to figure out how to afford rent and groceries and maybe even some fun weekends. And it's no wonder why so many of us feel like we're sprinting on a treadmill, exhausted, and we're busy, but not really moving forward. What's up, everybody? I'm Zap Rath, musician and actor turned content creator, and I'm here to help you design a practical and personal money blueprint that provides a sustainable framework for achieving your financial goals. And today, I want to talk about something that doesn't get said enough. Your 20s are not about figuring everything out. They're about setting the foundation for a life where you won't have to figure things out later. And if you do it right, you can set yourself up to retire early. Not retire as in sit in the beach all day, but retire from worry. Retire from being controlled by your job. Retire from living from paycheck to paycheck. So make sure you stick with me to the end of this video because I'm going to share 8 of my biggest victories and regrets from my 20s. Hopefully you can learn from what I did and do even better. But before we get started, all I ask in return, as always, is that you hit that like button because that lets the almighty algorithm know that this is a cool video and more people should see it. Okay, so first off, investing in your health. When people talk about investing in your 20s, they're usually talking about stocks or crypto or real estate, but your health is your most important asset. And trust me, coming from the entertainment industry, I've missed out on so many jobs and so much money because I was overweight. On the other hand, I've gotten jobs simply because I looked younger and more energetic than my competition. And that really taught me something powerful, that when you're healthy, you have energy. And when you have energy, you can make money. I'm not with the whole big is beautiful movement. That's fine for some people, but I think it's completely out of hand. And I'm not saying that to be controversial. I'm saying that because I believe a healthy amount of peer pressure to be healthy is actually a good thing. It's not about vanity, it's about longevity. And even a 2023 CDC study found that people who maintain healthy exercise and eating habits in their 20s have a 30% higher lifetime earnings, simply because they're more productive and they have fewer health setbacks. So skip the daily takeout, invest in real food, move your body, and build habits that make your future self unstoppable. Next thing, avoiding debt like the plague. I find it so crazy how credit card companies can literally set up tables on college campuses like they're giving out free money. It's not free money. Credit cards are fine if you already have the cash, but in your 20s, you probably don't have the cash. That's why you're using a credit card. You really should only use them for essentials to build your credit score and never carry a balance, because when you carry a balance, you're getting that interest and it is a mountain to climb when you're trying to pay that off. Student loans as well. I've seen friends that 20 years later, they're still working on their student loans. It's an albatross around your neck. Luckily, I avoided them completely. I got scholarships, I did work study, I got financial aid, I even had community support, and I really just tried to avoid student loans. And I think that's one of the best decisions I made in my 20s because your 20s are so unpredictable. You might change careers, you might change cities, you might change goals, and having that credit card debt or that student loan debt is like a weight around your neck. This is why I never bought a house either. People kept telling me, buy a house, buy a house. You're crazy for renting. You're just throwing your money away. But I remember a mentor telling me that the word mortgage is a Latin word. It literally means death grip. All right. It's always made me think twice about buying a house. And just looking back on my life and seeing that the changes that have happened, if I would have had to deal with a house on top of that, it would have been an absolute disaster. Number 3, waiting and then buying. This is a huge one because impulse buying is a silent killer of your wealth in your 20s. And I said this in another video, but you can do it here now as well. And if you look around in your room, in your house, wherever you're watching this video, and look at the stuff around you, I guarantee there are dozens of things around you that you bought and you only wore it once. You only used it once, or maybe you never even used it at all. And a 2022 study by Bankrate showed that the average American wastes $1,500 a year on impulse purchases. And most don't even remember what they even bought. That's why I love shopping online, because this is what I do. When I want something, I put it in my cart and I'll wait 30 days. If I still want it, then I'll buy it. But guess what happens? 9 times out of 10, I either don't want it anymore after that 30 days, or I forgot that I even wanted it at all. It's amazing how it works. Now, one impulse action that I think is 100% okay is hitting the subscribe button, because if you made it this far into the video, then you're probably enjoying my content. So if you'd like to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button so that you'll never miss my next financial insight. Saving money by living with parents or roommates. All right, so I'm going to be real with you on this one. This is a really good move, but it's something that I can't do anymore. Okay. When I first started out, I did have roommates and it just got old really fast. And I'm the kind of person who needs space. But financially, this is a thing that can save you thousands. Living with family or roommates isn't a weakness, it's a strategy. And one person that I watch on YouTube a lot, his name is Anton Daniels. He's a multimillionaire, and he credits moving back in with his family as one of the key moves that helped him build his wealth. Also, in East Asian countries, multi-generational households are normal. Everyone contributes, everyone saves, and those people come to America and they make bank because they are conserving their resources by living together. There's also a flip side, though, and I've dated women in their 30s who never moved out, and you could tell they were overly dependent, they were financially irrational, they were emotionally immature. So this one really depends on the person. It's a good move, but it depends on you. If you can use that time to build financial stability and independence, then do it. But don't use it as a reason to just slack around and be comfortable. Number 5, living below your means. So when you finally start making money, I know it's tempting to show off. You want to flex on the gram. You're in your 20s. There's no parents around telling you what to do. There's no one telling you no. So you start buying everything that you can afford, and you're probably buying some stuff that you can't afford. But that puts you in the middle class trap. You work, you spend, you're broke, and then you need money again. So you go back to work and you repeat this cycle over and over. And even someone like Shaq, someone who made millions playing in the NBA, he said he went broke after his first NBA check. Even with all that money, he fell into the trap too, of working, spending, being broke, and then having to go back to work again, until a mentor told him that he should live on half of his income. And he's been killing the game ever since. And that's why my goal now is to also always try to live on half. Now, I know you think that might be impossible, and maybe it is where you are, right now, but it's still a really good goal. You might shoot for the moon and land in the clouds. You're still saving more than the average American. I live in Los Angeles, one of the most expensive cities in the world, and I've lived comfortably on a lot less than 100%. So you don't have to spend 100%. Freedom feels way better than flexing, and if you're creative and disciplined, you can make it work. Number 6, buying income-producing assets. And this is, oh my God. If I could go back in my 20s and change one thing, this is one of the biggest things I would change. I didn't even know what an asset was back then. But if you want to make serious money, it really is only 2 steps. You get a really good job, and then second step is that you immediately replace that job with income producing assets. And I call it the flip, meaning that you flip the ratio of income that comes from your job and the income that comes from your assets. So at first, your job might be 99% of your income, and you buy some assets and it produces some income, maybe 1%. But you keep investing and you keep investing, and now your job is 90%, 80%, 70%. Until one day you realize that you don't really have to go to work anymore. And it all comes from investing in things like stocks and real estate and even crypto. For example, if you download the Gemini app using the link in the description of this video, deposit at least $100 and trade it for crypto, you'll receive a $50 bonus within 30 days. And if you download the Kraken app, deposit at least $100 and trade it for crypto, excluding stable coins, you'll receive a $15 bonus within 2 weeks. So try both and you've made $65. That's a 32.5% return just for watching this video.
Nice.
Number 7, continually learning high ROI skills. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that I made. Not recognizing that school doesn't end when you graduate. In fact, the real education starts afterwards. The skills that pay you the most are the ones that no one forces you to learn. We're talking about sales, communication, business, systems, leadership. Another thing that I wish I understood better in my 20s was the concept of macroeconomics and learning how what I do fits into the bigger picture of the world. It will significantly enhance your decision making. Coming from the entertainment world, I used to wonder, why was my income so unstable? I have one good year and I make so much money and I had great gigs, and the next year it's like everything fell apart, everything dried up, until I realized that my income was coming from other people's disposable income, the big picture. So when times are tough, what do you think is the first thing that goes? Discretionary spending. Things like entertainment, it's the first thing to go out the window. So once I understood that, I stopped just being an artist and I started thinking like a business, because millionaires are made through entrepreneurship and investing. It's those two things. Everything else falls under it. And lastly, choosing friends who multiply you. And this one is tough. One of the hardest things I did in my 20s and 30s was distance myself from people who weren't growing in the same direction I was. I mean, think about it. If you're above average financially, you're going to eventually outgrow people. And that's okay. Your mindset, your goals, your habits, you're not going to get along after a while. You're going to clash. It's like oil and water. They say you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So who do you spend your time with? I started focusing on relationships that compound. And yes, it got lonely, but it also can get powerful. Even in romance, the partner that you choose is very important. It can either drain you or it can 10x you. Think of a couple like Alex and Layla Hormozy, both business-minded, both aligned. That's what a partnership looks like when your goals are in sync, and relationships are incredibly important. Your next opportunity isn't a door that you walk through. It's a person that you talk to. So your 20s aren't about being perfect. You're not going to get everything right. You're going to make some mistakes along the way, but that's okay. Your 20s are about being intentional, because every small decision you make compounds, for better or for worse. And if you can just master a few of the things that I talked about, your health, managing debt, being patient, building assets, and putting yourself around the right people, your 40-year-old self is going to look back and say, thank you for not wasting that decade. So if you like this video, click that share button and share it with at least 2 people you think need to hear this. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.